Thanks for the follow and the invites and the stream host. And take it easy. I will... How do you unban somebody? I'm going to have to look that up while we're waiting for a game. Let me go ahead and swap the map. I have no idea how to unban you from the chat room. Can you join the well, I will worry about it later. Fat finger syndrome. And the random map of today is in 3, 2, 1... Wraith Trap. Wraith Trap.
Tray Trap?
Tray Trap.
Good old Tray Trap.
So Victory. So I still don't have Subnautica. I'm still debating on whether to get it or not because I do have a lot of other titles right now. This War of Mine, I did go a few more days with that game that we started last night, but unfortunately that sniper that shot my guy twice on that map really slowed him down, and so he became really depressed, and since he was my main scavenger, I wasn't able to take back a lot of goods. So I ended up restarting that game, and I'm doing a lot better. I'm on day like 3 or 4, but right now I'm really in short supply of wood, and so I need to go out and make a lot of trips for wood, but I'm doing actually pretty decent. I've got a little bit of food. I've actually got some vegetables. I was managed to find some vegetables in the supermarket. I did have to murder a looter because he was taking a lot of my... So I put down all of my supplies at the beginning and somebody was getting into them and taking off with them, but I got an assault rifle and like 30 bullets from him, so that was really good. But all my guys are kind of a little bit depressed because I ended up killing somebody. Hey Tattletale, how's it going? Unban and the name. Timing is better than banned. So he wasn't banned in my Twitch chat. It was my Steam chat, I think. I'm not sure how to... Oh, manage banned list. Ha! Found it. Unban. There you go. And I will re-invite you. Fantastic. You ended up helping me out afterwards. So how did you enjoy those games, Tattletale? The finals. Parentheses. There we go. So he's invited again. Yeah, I figured out. Inadvertently, you helped me. Hey, One Troll, welcome to the chat. Hey, Chris. And we've got ourselves the majestic Wraith. I like the gear. I like the gear background. Works really nice. And we've got a Torvald. I love how everyone keeps on hating on Torvald lately, but I disagree. It's 4:30 right now. Who just pinged me? Have fun. Yeah, I can't wait to see if Lennox is going to be a very big pick. I have a feeling right now, I think Lennox is in a good spot balance-wise, but for competitive reasons, I don't think she's going to be super awesome, just because I feel that she's dictated by your opponent. So if your opponent knows how to handle her, her melee weapon's kind of useless. Her gun is decent as a secondary, but I feel that her melee is going to be largely countered by good monster play, I feel. If anything, I feel that she could use a slight buff, but we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out in ESL teams and whatnot. ESL moments, yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, so back to the game at hand. I apologize. So right now, the Trapper is actually in a really good spot right now. So if the monster goes south, we'll be able to go through. A lot of people never check this cave area. I find that whenever you split like this, one person on the high ground and one person on the low ground really makes a big difference when it comes to flushing these caves out, especially when there's height variation. So it does look like that they are pinging something. I'm not sure what they're pinging. Was there... Oh, and there they go. Monster is spotted. and it looks like the monster is going to be able to get away. Stops for eating. I'm not a big fan of people stopping to eat, because that extra second or two could have made all the difference in getting out and not getting domed here. I do like that the trapper is holding back and waiting for the monster to commit one way or the other before throwing the dome. As always, I love watching Task Force as a trapper. He's a fantastic trapper. So monster might be able to squeak by right here on the north edge. But it looks like, let's see if Griffin will be able to go ahead and get the harpoon in. So here comes the dome. And it does wait until there is a couple of traversals, so it does look like the monster is in the dome. Monster at half evolution. This could be good, but they have to watch out for this nomad. So this is one of those large pillars I was talking about. You really want to have someone stationed in various areas. So one over here, and then one up here. That will ensure that every single time the monster is seen, they can be shot at. So just make sure you have your positioning set up, and then you have a full thing of jetpack if the monster does decide to go after you. Trapper at half armor. Half health, I mean, and being shielded by Hank, but that nomad getting ticked off and helping the monster out, because Hank might go down here. He needs to cloak and or use his orbital very, very shortly. This could be a very, very scary moment for Hank. And there we go. There is the Hank down. Not sure if his cloak was off or if his orbital was ready or not, but I feel like an defensive orbital would have been perfect there. Slim getting hit up into the air, and monster looks like he's going to try and finish a job. All the hunters are relatively low health here, and now that the nomad is gone, Slim has no corp or nothing to attack to use for free healing. And it looks like everybody's up. Wow, Slim managed to get away with barely any health, and that cloak really needs to go. But it looks like that instead he is going to get shielded by Hank. Hank instead gets a face full of Warp Blast, and once again shielding the Wraith from killing the Slim as much as possible. Slim on very, very small health though, only going to take in that defensive. That orbital is actually a pretty good spot. It won't save Hank's life, but I think it will allow the medic to get away. But unfortunately, all of the hunters, very low health. I think that the monster will be able to close it out. And there we go. One more hit from the monster would have finished off Slim. And there's the abduct. And it's going to be all down to Griffin here. An unfortunate, great play by the monster, able to make a lot of work done. But be very, very careful when it comes to hostile wildlife. Ooh, the support gets up. The hunters might actually have a chance here if the support cloaks right now. And could have picked up somebody. I think that would have been better. I haven't seen any cloaks on this guy yet. At least I don't think so. And there we go. There's the abduct. The Warp Blast finish. Misses the Warp Blast. And it's just down to task now. So monster going to go ahead and eat up all the corpses. Not evolving, but just going to eat it for armor. And it looks like he is going to try and chase down the last remaining hunter with the 2 minutes before the dropship comes down. So yeah, just be careful. Nomad was MVP on that dome. It was a pretty decent dome. You just needed to spread people out a little bit more so that you could constantly be shooting the Wraith. But the hunter is the monster doing a great job of capitalizing on that Hank being hit by the nomad. And Griffin trying to do everything he can to avoid. And I like that he's trying to put barriers between him and the monster to prevent him from being abducted. So very good job. Monster should be able to catch up to him a little bit faster than this. And I like traversing the gorge. Doing a great job. Just being very, very difficult for the Wraith to try and hit. And there's that abduct. Oh, the abduct does go through the plant. And unfortunately, I think that that's going to be the end of Task Force here. Very, very good job. And maybe as a last-ditch effort, maybe he'll throw a dome. Nice jukes to the left and right, not making it predictable, but unfortunately, trying to survive for 2 minutes against one monster is a very Herculean task. Ah, my screen! It's got the infections. GG.
Yeah, GG. I have to... My tick, I don't know what's going on, but it was blinking again, except this time it was blue and white, so I'll be right back.
Maybe update your drivers. I don't know, like, I'm sure they are, but try that.
I've had the game up for a while, so that might be it too.
Fair enough.
You're just getting hot then?
He's always hot.
Oh dear.
Oh. Took the words right out of my mouth. I'll be back though.
Okay. So he did a really good job. I think the turning point was when the Nomad kicked Hank, and then he followed that up, saw it, and then it was able to warp blast right after the two, and was able to get Hank down really, really, really quick. And then from there, it just kind of snowballed. So that dome was actually really, you did a great job task. Once again, you were always holding back to throw that dome, and you always waited until the monster committed one way or the other. That being the case, once you were in the dome, there was one giant pillar where the monster could have gone around. I would have liked to have seen the hunters kind of separated a little bit more. The Nomad was kind of in a very bad, awkward position because you wanted to have a hunter in that little area where the Nomad was anyway, so that you could always have a line of fire and firing solutions no matter what angle the monster was going at. And so I think that what it was is just the wildlife just was a little too much, and the Wraith was able to capitalize on it. But otherwise, really, really good tracking in being able to dome the monster. And you did a good job surviving for about a minute, but living for 2 minutes as Griffin is really, really, really hard. Nice orbital, though. The orbital that separated you and Slim. Like, Slim had, like, a fraction of a percent of health. I honestly thought he went down. Next thing I know, he did a heal burst and healed himself. I'm like, oh, he didn't go down. So, really, really good job.
That shield, too good.
Nomad OP. Oh, excuse me. I'm so thirsty this morning. Nomad would be an awesome monster, to be fair.